Yeah.
Let's be easy on each other, because today it's me, tomorrow it will be you.
That's
you
true.
know, so let's just take it easy. And life is short. I think that's one thing Mike likes to say. He would keep telling me, life is so short and then we'll die. So will we just keep making it so hard on each other?
Yeah.
So let's make life easy
That's
on
true.
each other.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. As we have been doing before, we've been doing the topic on conflict resolution, and we have done quite a bit. My name is Mike Odwalo.
And Liz here. Welcome to Lapis Lazuli. We're always excited that you can be able to join us as we get to share about Jesus being our firm foundation, because that's what we always say. This is it. That we always learn that our foundation in life is Jesus. And if we have him, then everything is assured and we are well.
Exactly. With Jesus, everything will fall in place. And so in the past two videos, we did conflict resolution and we did causes of conflicts. We talked about pride, we talked about critical spirit, and we talked about defensiveness.
Yeah.
That was in the first video. The second video, we talked about anger. We talked about
We've talked about unresolved issues.
Yeah. And also disrespect. And so today we are going to do the final one. Hope you've watched those ones. In case you've not, please go back and you are going to watch them. And please subscribe in case you've not done so.
Please subscribe. Please subscribe, that button right there. Yes, it's really just been a great learning time.
That's
even
true.
For us. Just learning about conflict and what causes conflict.
Yes.
We say that conflict is inevitable in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Because we said we are two sinners, and where there are two sinners,
yes,
there will be sin. And sin mostly it brings quarrels. We are not perfect.
Yeah.
And so even as we are sharing, it's not because we've achieved, it's because we are learning through some of these things that we are sharing.
Exactly. And we are hoping that as we are learning, we are challenging ourselves, but we are also getting better.
Yes.
And in case things are not working, it is not time to give up. It is time to keep on going.
Yeah.
As we continue to keep on going, God is going to provide a way, and we hope that we are all going to have healthy relationships as God designed it to be.
Exactly. We are learning many things. But remember, one of the things that we said in one of our videos is that prayer is key.
Yeah.
As much as you're working on yourself, not to be angry, not to be disrespectful and all these things, sometimes it takes you to pray.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes you to pray for your marriage, to pray for your relationship, to pray for yourself. There are things that we've had all our lives, characters that are so hard to change. I don't know whether you found yourself in this situation. That the right thing you need to do, but it is so hard.
It's so difficult when the rubber meets the road. You actually look like you've never heard about it. Because putting it into practice really becomes quite hard.
You feel like actually at this point I actually just need to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But that sorry refuses to. Your mouth literally refuses to open.
It can't come out.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if you've gone through that.
Yeah.
We have experienced that many times. And that's why we keep saying that we have to keep learning and talking about these challenges that we keep facing. Because it's a challenge, but we are able to do it.
That's true.
Now, today we pick up and start doing the next point, and that is what causes conflict in our relationships.
Yes.
And so today we start with selfish demands.
Yeah, exactly. We are all selfish beings.
Yeah.
And we love ourselves more than anybody else.
I think it's a natural thing.
It is. It really comes natural. I think that's why the Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Because really the love for yourself comes naturally.
Very naturally.
Yeah. But the challenge is that as human beings, we take it higher.
Yeah.
So that we are all consumed about ourselves, and the other people are relegated to a place that is not good. And when we come partners, or when you are in a relationship, again, your selfishness is going to be tested more than ever. And this is one of the things that causes a lot of conflict in so many marriages. It has done that in our marriage,
Oh, yes,
and I
many
believe
times.
that it's gonna do that, or it's doing that in your relationships.
Yeah.
But what we are saying is that we have to be conscious and get to realize that, you know what, yes, this could be my default nature, but I refuse to be like this. I refuse to be defined by selfishness. I would want to take charge and be considerate.
Wow, so true.
Mhm.
So, as we talk about selfish demands,
Mhm.
what are some of these demands,
Mhm.
and what causes us to demand?
Mhm.
You know, I think for me, I'm thinking frustration.
Mhm.
You know, when you're frustrated
Mhm.
in a relationship, it's so easy to start now giving demands.
Mhm.
You know, you start demanding
Mhm.
respect, you
Mhm.
start demanding for things to be done your way,
Mhm.
you know, and so it's so much more things for me,
Mhm.
myself,
Yeah.
and I.
Mhm.
You know, you don't think about the other person. You know,
Yeah.
there is no consideration when
Yeah.
you're having selfish demands.
Mhm.
You don't consider others.
Mhm.
You know, and as we've always said, the Bible says, consider others better than
Yeah.
yourself.
Yes.
You know, but when we are having selfish demands, it's
Mhm.
about just me
Yeah.
and what I want. You know,
Yeah.
I wanted warm water, or I wanted my food cooked this way. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I don't care what you have to go through.
Yeah.
I need things done this way.
Mhm.
You know, and so it becomes so much, there is so much demands.
Yeah.
You know, and when we keep demanding,
Yeah.
it's very frustrating for the other person.
Yeah.
And so it actually becomes a cause of conflict.
Yeah. In the book of Philippians, I think we could read this at this time.
Yeah.
Chapter 2. This is a very important passage that talks to us about Jesus,
Mhm.
his life, and
Mhm.
how you and I should be able to imitate him.
Mhm.
He's saying, if you have any encouragement from being united with Christ,
Mhm.
if any comfort from his love,
Mhm.
if any fellowship with the Spirit, if
Mhm.
any tenderness and compassion, then make my joy complete by being like-minded,
Mhm.
having the same love, being one in spirit and purpose.
Mhm.
Do nothing out of selfish ambition
Yeah.
or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourself.
Mhm.
Each of you should look not only to your own interest, but also to the interest of others. Your attitude should be the same like that of Christ, who being in very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be grasped, but made himself nothing, taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness.
Wow.
Yeah. So right here,
Mhm.
Paul is telling us about the attitude that you and I need to have. And I believe as couples or as partners, as people who are in love, we must consider others better than ourselves. Your spouse should be better than you. When you put your spouse in front, then we are not going to be selfish, and we're not going to be making selfish demands that results in a lot of conflicts in our marriages.
Yeah, that's true. You know, someone wrote a book about the 5 love languages.
Yeah.
And he talked about, you know, the different love languages. And when you want to be able to give to the other person, you don't just go with your love language. You actually are able to think, what is my spouse's love language? What do they appreciate? What is it that makes them happy?
Yeah.
Not what is it that makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know, so when we keep demanding and feeling like, man, me, this is mine, you know,
Yeah.
me, this is how I am made happy, this is what makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know, do you consider the other person? You know, so it's important to know what are the 5 love languages, and I know there are many others, but it's good for you to be able to always consider and know, for my spouse, this is what makes them happy. You know, if your spouse loves football, and you and football are
worlds
apart, you need to learn to get into their world, because that's their world. Don't just say, me, I hate football, so I won't, no one is going to watch football in this house. Instead, we are going to watch cartoon, for example, or we are going to watch music, you know. So it's what we're saying is we cannot be demanding on our own demands only. It's important to be able to keep getting into each other's worlds and knowing that wow, my spouse loves this.
Mhm.
And so I can learn and just do or become
Mhm.
what makes them happy, even if it doesn't make me happy.
Yeah.
I know, like in this house, there are people who love movies, there are those who don't.
Mhm.
There are those people who love tools, there are those who don't.
Mhm.
So we have had to learn how to survive with all of them.
Yeah.
And still make it better,
Mhm.
because people are different, but that does not mean that we cannot live together. We can still live together in harmony and still consider one another, and not be selfish. So we have to be conscious.
Exactly. I think being conscious is very, very crucial. But also the other thing is just learning to give and take. When we are not selfish, we learn to compromise on our stance, on our values, and be able to let the other person also be part of the bargain and also get part of the bargain.
Yeah.
You are not just gonna be like, man, okay, I want food to be cooked this way, and this is how it's supposed to be cooked because that is how it was done for you when you are growing up, and it has to be done that way. When you get married, sometimes you find you are cross-cultural, and this person also have their way of the taste. It cannot be that things have got to just be done the way yours was done or you saw it done, but you are willing to let go of yours and blend in the other person.
True.
And you guys move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the point on selfish demand. So what we are saying that is that we cannot be so focused on my world and what I want and how I feel. But when you are two, it's always important to consider the other person. So that when you consider the other person and the other person considers you, then you get a balance somewhere. Then you are able to move on.
That's true.
Amen. So next is annoying habits. Yeah.
Yes, annoying habits. We all are from somewhere, and there are certain things we've done over and over. Unfortunately, some of these things creep in when we start a relationship and we continue in our relationship. That is when you will discover that my spouse, my friend, or my partner has certain habits. And as they say, bad habits die hard. It is here with us and unfortunately here to stay. And those can also really be some sources of conflict.
Yeah. I think annoying habits are things, just habits that we have as human beings. Some of them are not even sinful. But it's just a habit that someone is used to. It can be, how they pick their nose or how they eat, or it can be how their shoe wears out. It can just be even how they dress, how they color clash, whatever it is.
How they snow at night.
How they now when you get into the home, when you even notice now how they even snow.
Sometimes it could be their jokes.
The jokes
there are certain jokes that maybe now just annoy you. You don't like.
And the list goes on. Now, when we have these annoying habits, one of the things that we've come to realize as we continue in marriage is that every marriage, every individual has their annoying habits. That's just the reality. But one of the things we have to actually realize is that it's not so, we can't be so hard on each other. We can't be so hard. Sometimes we are so hard on each other. When you find socks on the chair, you become so hard on your partner. And then now even them, when they find your annoying habit, they also become so hard on you, and so you become so hard on each other and make life very unbearable.
It becomes tit for tat. And as they said that if somebody steals and we move one eye, then the whole world will be blind, because today is mine, tomorrow is someone else. Today is mine, tomorrow is yours. And so if every punishment or every habit or everything that is not done well is punishable by this, and the chain continues, you realize that it will affect everybody.
I think there is one thing you always used to tell me: don't respond to a mosquito bite
with a hammer.
With a hammer. I
Yeah.
think someone says that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, and so it's true. We can be so something small. We react.
Yes.
You know?
It becomes a big thing.
Yeah.
And the other person also just feels like,
The
oh,
same.
okay, this is how you treat me. I'll also treat you like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're saying is, you have to learn to be easy.
Exactly.
And you see, when annoying habits, they don't affect.
Yeah.
As in, they are not a matter of life and death.
Yeah.
They are not a matter of heaven and going to hell.
Exactly.
You know? So there are things that you have. Okay, it's not bad for you guys to discuss it.
Yeah.
Talk about
because
them.
some of them can actually change.
Some of them
there's
can
so
change.
much that have changed since we got married.
Yes.
But unfortunately, there are also those
There's
that,
some that are so hard.
will stick with you.
Yeah, and they are really so annoying.
Yeah.
But you have to keep talking about them.
Yeah.
But also just learn to be easy.
Yeah.
With each other and realize that, wow, this is what annoys my spouse, you know, so I can be able to work on it. You know, if throwing socks everywhere or leaving the door open is the annoying habit, just decide that you're going to be the one that picks the socks.
Exactly.
And
be the one that closes the door.
Or be the
and
one
closes the cabins and all the wardrobes and all the everything else that needs to be closed.
Exactly.
Because I've actually seen, I know when we first got married, you know, some of these things were like, okay, so and so, can you come? Look, what is this? Can you pick it? And
who left these socks? Yeah, and we are the two of us.
And we are just the two of us, so it's not like anybody else.
Oh gosh, that was crazy.
It doesn't change. And so you're like, man, I've done
so
this.
Today you leave your socks.
Yeah.
I come.
Yeah.
I'm like, who left your socks? You can. No, I think the first time I would pick, the second time, the third time.
Ukachoka.
You know.
You're like, I'm tired with doing this thing.
Gosh, that is so bad.
Come.
Come, please pick your sock.
Yeah.
You know, and then now you also get very
irritable.
Yeah. You become very irritable.
Yeah.
You know, and so you feel like you know what, this is so small. What's wrong? You know, and so it becomes a conflict. So
sometimes it could be with the toilet. So. Yeah, those are really annoying habits, especially the men. That men, you are not, you go, you pee on, you don't want to clean.
To flush the toilet.
Yeah.
You know.
And then, you know, those are very sensitive, especially for the ladies.
Yes.
So I think as brothers, we want to catch up and be more sensitive.
Yeah.
But the sisters also be more understanding.
Don't say come, so, please flush.
Yeah. Look at
that's
go clear your mess. Your mess.
Clean your mess. No. You know, when we keep telling each other that, it actually, it's like pride is begetting pride.
Exactly.
You know, it's like your
because even you, they will get you somewhere.
Exactly.
This one is theirs, but yours is also coming.
So it's important to cover for each other.
Exactly.
Learn to cover for each other. Learn to yes, I'm not saying that we don't work on it. We can still mention it. We can still talk about it.
Yeah.
But it can't be so hard. I think right now we are
and
not
let
as
it be on a
hard.
lighter note.
Yes. I think now we laugh more about it. You know, like when we find socks, you're like, hey, the socks are still on the table or something like, or on the chair or something like that.
The world doesn't stop.
Because there is, exactly.
By the time you're done with your quarreling, nobody's even eating supper.
Exactly.
Now you don't even have an appetite to eat. Yeah.
Exactly. So we are saying that annoying habits will be there, but it's not a matter of life and death.
Yeah.
You know, it's not sin. You know, there are things that when someone is in sin, you should be concerned.
That's true.
But a habit is something that someone can work on.
Yeah.
Let's be easy on each other, because today it's me, tomorrow it will be you.
That's
you know, so let's just take it easy. And life is short. I think that's one thing Mike likes to say. He would keep telling me, you know, life is so short and then we'll die. So will we just keep making it so hard on each other?
Yeah.
You know, so let's make life easy on each other.
That's true.
Now, the other thing that we'll be talking about is independent
spirit.
Being independent.
Yeah, now this is very crucial, especially those of us who've stayed single for quite some time. But not even that, we were all single at some point. And you know, once we come out of school or college, there is a period there where we live our own lives.
Yeah, you're the one who makes decisions.
Exactly. And so it is easy for this to creep in when you get married.
Yeah.
And you want to continue with that independence.
Yeah.
Now that independent spirit, to some degree, is not very healthy in a relationship. Of course, there are areas that you definitely need to be independent. But we are saying that when you are in a relationship, you want to work hard to be together. You want to work hard to consult. You want to work hard to bounce your thoughts and your ideas over somebody. You don't just wake up and you find somebody has done something or somebody has gone somewhere and you have no idea. And when you are asked, you feel agitated, you feel funny, what's the problem? So it is important for us to learn to depend on one another healthily.
We are talking about healthy, just that healthy dependence on one another, because we are not, the reason why we came together is because we needed each other.
Exactly.
If we didn't need each other, we could live our separate lives. And
the Bible says two are better than one because they have a good return
for their work. Exactly. You know, that independent spirit or being independent is it's actually costly. It's really quite costly. And because you see, you start with the small decisions. You know, of I'll just go, I'll not say where I'm going, or I'll just go and do this with my money. It's my money, you know. I've earned it.
He does not need to know about it.
You know,
he does not even need to know I have it.
You know, I'll just go and buy a plot, and my spouse doesn't even know. You know, and those are things that are very costly. You see, such things, when your spouse gets to know, it starts creating doubt, because people start feeling like, wow, if you've not been telling me all these things, you've been doing things. What else have you not been telling me? You know, so that independent spirit is, it leaves a lot of question marks that are not healthy. You know, but when you are open with one another, you know, you are, you know, you have nothing to hide. You know, and I'm telling you, it's not easy. There are those times you just feel like, hey, I just want my life. And we're not saying that you also don't give each other a break.
Or space.
Like, there is no space to breathe.
Everywhere, every time.
I do many things on my own. And I know you do many things on your own. But actually, apparently, many times we just find ourselves talking about what we did.
Exactly.
You know, because we have nothing to hide, but we give each other that space. You know, so we cannot be a couple who are who keep too independent. You know, it's like everyone has their own lives, because what the devil desires is to keep separating us. Exactly.
Actually, that's what the Bible says, that, you know, what God has joined together, let no man separate. Separation, independency is
separation.
A separation. It is a spirit of that causes a lot of separation. And closely related to that is dishonesty. You actually realize that most people who are very independent, they have to some degree a sense of dishonesty, because there is something, as you are saying, they don't want to be honest about. So they want to go or do it on our own. Now, it is important also for us to be sensitive to the fact that there are some times when things have happened in a marriage, and the other person actually feel justified to be independent because they've been beaten in the past. They trusted maybe the spouse. Man, the spouse went and did something, took all the money in the bank account and all that, and so you've been beaten, and so you feel like, rightly so. What we always advise, if there are some unresolved issues, then let's talk about it.
Let's deal with them.
All we are saying that the healthy place to be is where we are honest, where we are interdependent about our issues with each other, and we can talk about our issues. We can talk about the challenges that we are going through. We can talk about our victories, our downfalls, and all that. We can talk about our secrets. You know, God has brought us together so that we can share in everything. We share in our secrets. You cannot be a couple and this person has this huge investment somewhere
and
that
the spouse does not know.
God forbid, if one dies, that is the time now all these things are, and so many people again also lose a lot of property.
True.
Because even their spouse
never knew.
And maybe the guys who knew after their death,
They actually
went
went.
and took advantage
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just went with it.
Mm.
So it is important
Yeah.
for us to be honest.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this issue of honesty, it's important for us to actually just also still realize that those, it starts again with very small lies. And who wants to live with a liar?
Nobody.
None of us.
Not
None of us. I don't want to live with someone who I know they're lying to me. And so that's not a foundation that you want to build your relationship on lies. And so we're saying that we must learn to be honest with one another.
Open.
To be open. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
Let's be people who are very honest.
Yeah. At this time, let me talk about the phones. I think that's where a lot of secrets are hidden. There are couples today who none of them dares to leave their phones in the open.
Or they don't. The password keep changing every day.
The password keeps changing. If they just suspect that you've gotten a wind of the pattern or the password, they change it. Because there is something they are hiding, and there is something that they would not want to bring to open.
Yeah.
You might have your own reasons, but all we are saying that just know that it's not a good place to be. There could also be reasons why you've reached that level, because I also don't think somebody just wakes up and maybe decides I'm not gonna show. But sometimes, or most of the time, it's because there is some habits that are also creeping, and because you are entertaining it, it continues to grow. So that somebody, man, you cannot even leave your phone behind. You are going to the bathroom, you stick with your phone.
With your phone, even in the bathroom.
Even in the bathroom, in the toilet. Sometimes it falls in the water, and you have to buy a new phone just because you do not trust one another.
Exactly. So I think it's really a deep topic, and we would like you to even just be thinking about it. We don't know where you are at. We don't know. We're just sharing what we've had, what we've seen, but we are saying that these are some of those things that actually cause conflicts in marriage. And so instead of hiding or putting your pin or changing your pin every day, why don't you deal with the issue?
Talk about the issue.
Why don't you talk about with the real issue? What is it that is taking away our what is it that is making us not to be honest or not to be trustworthy? And what is it that is causing this conflict? Let's deal with the real issue. Then we can be able to live the life of harmony that God desires. If you've been disappointed when you tried to trust someone, talk about it. Let's deal with it. Let them be able to see it. If they can't hear you, request if you guys can see someone, and I'll talk to a couple that we are not in short supply, as we always say, of people who can be able to help us. We only need to find them. Don't go to anyone who will tell you, this, don't care. Go to someone who will be able to guide you. I love people who guide me spiritually. We've been married for a few years, and those years that we've been married, I've seen so many couples come to our lives and really help us in many, many ways. Some things that they looked so big to us, yet they were very petty, like today when we look back, but they actually were huge issues. I think one of the issues I remember is when we needed to even get seats, and you felt like we don't need. I felt like we needed, and we had to get someone to help us, so there are those times that you'll actually really not look at things the same way.
Or you want to buy a plot somewhere.
Yes.
You want to buy a car somewhere.
Exactly. Talk to people who are trustworthy, and they can be able to help you. Yes. So thank you.
Thank you. I think that was it. So we've done with the courses. So next time we are gonna look into the keywords. How then can we be able to deal? Of course, as we were talking, we have thrown some solutions here and there, but the next episodes we are going to concentrate on what then should we do when we find ourselves in conflicts. How can we go about it? And hopefully that we're going to be helped to grow and to be better, and as we say, to have healthy relationships.
Thank you very much. Shalom. If you've not subscribed, please, this is the time. Please go down there in that, it's written subscribe. Click on it. Thank you so much. Bye and shalom.
God bless. Peace.